Lentor Hill Residences can buy or bye-bye. Hi, my name is Alan from Alan Property. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about an upcoming new launch condominium in the Lentor area, which is known as Lentor Hill Residences. Lentor Hill is the second project to be launched after Lentor Modern. Subsequently, there will be another 5 new launches lining up in the months ahead. Can the market absorb so much supply in such a short period? Going forward, how well will they perform in the resale market? Will they fumble or will they outperform? Let me look into my crystal ball and go straight into the detail. Firstly, this 99 years leasehold site, which is previously known as Lentor Hill Road Parcel A, is a government land sale that measures 184,000 square feet with a plot ratio of 3. This works out to a maximum gross floor area of 553,000 square feet. The top bid of 586 million came from a consortium made up of Hong Leong Holding, Guaco Land, and TID. The price worked out to be $1,060 per square feet per plot ratio. The difference between the first and second bids was only 6%. So I think this is a fairly reasonable bid. The developers have plans for 598 units that comprise a mixture of 1 to 4 bedrooms. This is a site map with 5 blocks facing apart with communal facilities in the center. The back will be facing the future Hill Lock Park, which is going to be developed by NParks. Both sites are facing another condominium development. This means this unit will usually be priced lower. The most ideal facing is facing inwards, but this also means it will cost a premium. These are the typical floor plans. I wouldn't be going into details. Anyway, they are almost identical in most new launch condominium. An open concept for the smaller unit and an enclosed kitchen for the bigger ones. A household shelter in the kitchen area which also acts as a helper's room. I think we can always be kinder to our dear helpers. And lastly, bedroom size, which I always hope can be as spacious as HDB BTO ones. Since there are not many new launch that we can compare in this area, except for the Panorama at Ang Mo Kio Avenue 2, which was launched in January 2014 and completed in 2017. Older projects nearby include the 99 years leasehold Far Horizon Garden, Season Park, Castle Green, and Nouveau. Other freehold condos include Thompson Grove and the Carros. Just to add some kick to the study, I'll also compare the nearby 99 years landed properties in Chip Thai Garden and the freehold ones in the Lentor area. Here, to make my life easier, I will use the comparison tool by HProp to compare the different properties. I've done most of the heavy analysis for you. Let me rank them in terms of return by comparing the average price from 2013 to 2023. Take note, some of the properties are launched at different periods, so it's pretty difficult to compare them apple to apple. Anyway, let us study their performance in the past decade. Nouveau, which is an executive condominium, has fared a 21% return. Season Park is a 99 years leasehold condo that TOP in 1997 with a remaining lease of 71 years, has done only 22%. Chip Thai Gardens is a relatively unknown small landed estate along Yio Chu Kang Gardens, clocking a 26% increase. At $1,075 per square feet entry price for a landed property with a remaining lease of 69 years. I think this is still an attractive price to enter. 99 years landed property is for those that value the space and not so much at capital appreciation. On the other hand, Castle Green is a 99 years leasehold condominium that TOP in 1993 with a remaining lease of 69 years, has fared better at 28%, mainly due to its higher transaction volume as it has 664 units. Next on the list is the Carros. The Carros is a freehold condo with 421 units and fared pretty well at 42%. Prices have galloped from $1,002 to $1,007 per square feet till date. Another dark horse that did decently well is Far Horizon Garden, which is an aging 99 years condo from 1982. This means it has a remaining lease of 58 years. Prices have appreciated by 44% in the last decade. Some of you here may wonder what is happening to this aging condo. Why do prices keep going up even with a depreciating lease? Well, the simple answer is this: condo has en bloc potential. That is why investors who are looking at a windfall have pushed up the prices. Seriously, there are so many government land sale sites across the road. Will developer go through so much hassle to buy a 99 years en bloc site? If this has a freehold tenure, then this will be a different story. The Panorama has one of the best performance for the new launch condominium. It achieved a respectable 46% return from launch to date. That is why you always hear this project named again and again in property seminars. But let's give it some leeway. Panel performance is partially due to the 110 million write-off by Wheelock Properties. That is why when developers sell low, the real winner are the buyers. Anyway, Thomson Grove, which is another aging freehold condo nearby, has achieved a remarkable 48% return. So next time, don't only say new launch make money. An older condominium can also make money quietly. Unfortunately, you don't see a lot of hype for old condos. Only those with good eyesight can spot them. Lastly, we have President Gardens, which is a freehold terrace house in the Lentor area. Prices have appreciated by 50% to date. Frankly speaking, at 3.6 million or 1,600 per square feet, looks so cheap for the 2,200 square feet inter-terrace. Just to give you some perspective, I recently sold an inter-terrace near Cashew MRT station for 3.4 million with a land size of only 1,614 square feet. This worked out to 2,100 per square feet for the 2-story original house. In my view, Lentor landed prices are still very affordable. Here, there don't seem to be any close resemblance for comparison as the older 99 years condo are midway in the cycle. The Panorama is also an outliner as it is launched in the soft market. The freehold condos and landed properties are nevertheless not a good gauge for Lentor Hill future performance. Hong Leong Holding, Guaco Land and TID sell based on their track record, quality finish and well thought design. The developers are very familiar with this area as Guaco Land is also the developer for Lentor Modern. In addition, being the first few developers to launch in this area also give it a certain edge to TOP earlier so that completed units can hit the resale market soonest. Another strength could lies in its pricing. The break-even cost is 1,820 per square feet. This is definitely lower than Parcel B and Lentor Central site, but slightly higher than Lentor Garden site. Anyway, most of the sites are bought by either Hong Leong Holding or Guaco Land. This means they will have a strong control in terms of pricing. Anyway, will the developer do a reserve and price to sell? My only concern is the oversupply situation in this area. Lentor Hill Residences is the second condo to be launched. There are easily another 8 land parcels. Assuming each parcel can build 600 units, this works out to close to 6,000 new homes in this area. Never ever before there are so many new launch condos launched concurrently, except for West Coast Vale, where we have Park Rivera, Twin View and Wisteria Grand, all launched one after another. Can the market absorb so many new units there? Will tenant be spoiled for choice? Will the tenant be deterred by the constant construction going around? What about resale buyers? Can they cherry pick upon TOP? Only time will tell. This is a Greenfield site that will mainly comprise newly built condominiums in the next decade. This may attract buyers who are looking for the new development to stay. For those that plan to purchase a property in this area, if budget permit, please go for the bigger unit as they will usually cost lower in terms of per square feet. They will usually command a higher profit in the resale market. The North-South Corridor, which is expected to be completed in 2027, will indirect connect the northern region and the city centre. This is a game changer. This could encourage more people to live in Lentor. As usual, market and interest rate risk. Are you entering the peak in a high interest rate environment? Always have a long-term horizon when investing in any property. In rising market, many have forgotten the basic principle of investing. They buy just for the sake of buying. Some even buy what their peers are buying without doing any homework. Hopefully, the market will be kind to them. In the event that they are laid off with a high mortgage, the consequences will be devastating. If you are just looking for a condo to upgrade and lack the funds to buy a new homes, frankly speaking, just go for the cheaper resale condo nearby. Always buy when you can sleep soundly at night. In conclusion, Lentor Hill Residences can buy or buy. Well, Lentor is mainly a residential area that has affordable homes. But the situation may change soon with an influx of new condominiums in this sleepy part of Yio Chu Kang. For 99 years condo, it will be good to cash out with a remaining lease of 90 years when it is still new. However, it depends on the situation and market condition ahead. Lentor Hill Residences wouldn't be performing like the Panorama. Therefore, those high return era is already a thing of the past. Expect moderate return in the short to mid-term, especially with ample supply in the coming years. For those that plan to buy and own stay, I think Hong Leong and Guaco Land products are pretty livable and got some standards. By the way, my company is the appointed marketing agency. If you have plans to own a unit there, you can always reach out to me. That is all. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so. See you around soon.